right, well, I am going to begin this meeting of the Southern Adirondack Library System at 1 o'clock. Do we have any announcements? I do not see any public for public comments. You all should have received the board minutes. Are there any comments or corrections concerning the minutes? Can I have a motion to accept the minutes? Jordan Hornstein makes the motion and Margaret Shapiro seconds the motion. All in favor? Any opposed? Thank you. Treasurer's reports, all three of them.
Okay, first of all, the warrants were all posted on the website, so you, I'm sure, had a chance to take a look at those. And we'll have 3 months, actually, June, July, and August, since we haven't met since, well, actually, we met in June, but, so we've got 3, most of which are pretty run of the mill, except for August, and I'll go over that with you when we get to that point. So we started off the beginning of, the end of May and beginning of June with $1,403,000. The only out of the ordinary income that we had coming in, and it's not out of the ordinary, it's just not every month. Were the county aid from Saratoga and Hamilton counties for the $49,485. So our total income for the month was, in round numbers, $50,000, and we spent $148,000. So we ended up with $1,304,546 in our operating accounts. And we'll move on to July. Once again, we had just our joint automation money coming in and some interest on the CD that matured in the month of July, $5,000. So we had total income of $39,000. We spent $107,000, so our balance was down to $1,236,466. The CD that we had that matured on 7/21, I rolled that over with Arrow into another CD, a $500,000 CD at 4%. That will mature on 10/20 of 25. And then moving on to August. August was a big month for us because our state aid finally came in. And we started off the month with $1,236,000. We received $1,770,951 from the state of New York. Now, all of that we don't get to keep. A lot of it we just pass through to the various members. So we had total income during that month of $1,819,926, which brought us up to $3,056,393. During the month, actually moving into September, just to make note of this, we had 2 CDs. I bought 2 CDs on 9/9 from Arrow, both at 4%, both $500,000 each. One that will mature on 11/10 and the other on 12/8. And I anticipate that the Fed is going to lower their interest rates this week, probably. And when they do, our CD rates will go down, not the ones that are in place, but when it comes time to renew. So we've got a really good run of interest income. And I don't anticipate that they're going to go down by all that much, but they're pretty much putting out the information that it is later on this week that they are going to lower it down. So if anyone has any questions or comments.
Yeah, a couple. I guess the $500,000 keeps us outside of the FDIC insurance rate. I mean, this is
for 500,000, and then we have to have collateral above and beyond that, which we have with M&T Bank.
Okay.
And when we receive the money in, they automatically Arrow automatically raises at M&T what our collateral is to cover everything that's above the 500,000.
Okay. There's a line in here for central library aid. When does that happen?
It happened.
Did that happen in August with the receipt of the?
Yes, when we turned around. Right, on August or September, August, end of August.
Okay, it may have showed up in the last report. I noted it in June is still waiting. All right, fair enough, thanks.
Any other questions about the treasurer's reports? Then we will file the treasurer's reports with the minutes. And, we're up to him.
Well, I made it here. I'm settling in and I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you for all your confidence in me. As we were mentioning, it's been a lengthy process and I appreciate it. And I know it's a significant transition for everyone. I wanted to thank everybody behind me and to my side, for getting me up and acclimated over the past few days. And I have had a lot of questions and I'm sure I will have a lot more. And just very grateful for all the help. I wanted to mention that I've already had the pleasure of connecting with several directors and board members across the system. And we would receive some questions already in need of some guidance, so that's been great, and I really appreciate the warm welcome from everyone out there. It's been a great few days in person so far. I was also happy to hear Clifton Park Half Moon's budget was vote was passed last week. If y'all didn't hear, with in favor of 739 votes in favor and 123 against. So great outcome there. And just wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening with me in the upcoming months. So I'm going to do a lot of listening and learning. I'm going to start visiting with the staff at the member libraries and also continuing to meet with staff here. I think my biggest focus is probably just understanding everybody's priorities and challenges, and that is going to be extremely helpful. So I've been telling everyone via email, stay posted for the SALS Grand Tour, Kim's SALS Grand Tour. And I'm gonna get to all the libraries before it snows. And I know, I guess I said that the S word is something that we're not supposed to say around here. I also had the pleasure of connecting with the state librarian yesterday evening. We talked on the phone. And that was great and had a nice chat. And related to that, I just wanted, Jack did some fabulous work last week touring the state librarian around. So he shared this with me and I'm going to pass it around. It's just kind of some highlights from the tour. And I thought I would share those with you. And I also wanted to give Jack an opportunity to pass out, you have books for everyone. Yeah, for the Mary Roach's book Fuzz, which was chosen book for National Endowment for the Arts Big Read program this year. So Jack, do you want to say a little bit about that?
So we ended up getting the Big Reads grant. So books have been sent out to member libraries and we're having Mary Roach do a virtual Q&A on October 8th. And you're all invited to the virtual sessions and your libraries are too. And also we have a book for each and every one of you. So please grab one on the way out.
Thank you. Wow, that's great.
So I thought I'd end on some fun things. So that's all I have this month, and hopefully next month, I will be virtual next month, but we will talk about that later. Then I would hopefully have more of a formal new version of what my report will look like, and I look forward to it. So thank you again, everyone.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, committee reports, audit and finance. It says SALS 2025 budget amendments and 2024 to 2026 proposed budget.
So we'll take the audit and finance meeting, we did meet a couple of times. And we've been wading through the budget. We have later recommendation for both of the budgets that have been described, the amended 2025 and the 2026 proposed budget. The board review, the subcommittee is recommending them for approval. We'll also be talking a little bit about the JA budget as well. So we'll walk through them now, or would you prefer to walk through them when we're actually moving?
Voting on it.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'd say do it while we're moving on it.
We'll be voting on the 2026 budget, right? That's in October.
Right.
You're right. Yeah. So, okay, let's talk, I guess, real quick.
recommended going to the member library.
That's right, you're right. So, 2026 budget, let's hear the second, please. The changes were very simple. We've touched on them in the previous session. We've had the adjustments that were associated with the salaries. we'd anticipated. We had uncertainty, we still have uncertainty relative to the state funding that we'll receive. We are basing it on the 2025 proposed budget amounts, what we expected to get in 2025. We actually came in a little better in 2025, 3-4% better than we had seen, but we have not updated the 2026 to reflect that expectation. If we get that windfall next year, we'll put them to good use similarly. Don't recall that there's anything large structural. One of the big changes between the 2025 and 2026 is that 2026 obviously doesn't have another $50,000 for parking lot. So it's big part of the reason why the numbers show radically different. Our benefits are somewhat more expensive and utilities are quite a bit more expensive, but they are comparatively modest parts of the overall budget for 2026. Pamela, Bob, any big bullets that I missed there?
No. Good, Tim.
All right.
So the board just has to authorize it being submitted to the membership for their comments.
So could I have a motion to authorize sending the proposed budget to the member libraries? Pat Costello and Sue Beck seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bob, and
Pamela.
Pamela.
Yep.
Building, next committee, which is another big one. So what would you like to say, Sue?
Well, we met today before this meeting and there were 7 applications for projects. We had a total available funds to give out of $1,245,697. Unfortunately, the requested amount was about 110,000 more than that, so we just had to figure out how to fix the percentages and look at the projects and fairly assign the amounts. So after a lot of discussion, I'll just review quickly what the projects were very briefly. Boston Spa Public Library wants to rebuild put a new stair tower in to increase accessibility. And they requested $480,000 and we're awarding them $467,000. They requested 75% most of these projects and some 50%. So we had to just finagle the percentages a little bit to get everybody their money. Clifton Park, Half Moon, they're replacing a rooftop unit as part of a phase 1 fix for their HVAC system. We awarded them $471,000 out of their requested amount of $484,000. That was 73%. Crandall Public Library needs a new entry door that's been broken for a while. They need to replace the door. They requested 50% of the project amount for that we will award them $84,450. Town of Lake Pleasant needed a new sign out front, a digital library sign, to make it more make their programs more accessible and readable to people driving by. They requested $23,066 and we are awarding them $23,066 for that. Rockwell Falls needed a new ADA compliant circulation desk. They requested $15,335. We're rewarding them the $15,335 for that. And Mechanicville is doing a large remodel. So part of their remodel, this part of the remodel, they were requesting $242,084. And we are rewarding them 50% of that, $161,389. And then SALS needs a new climate control system in their server room and requested 50%. So we are awarding 50% to SALS at $26,726. And that's pretty much the entire budget.
Any questions? We will vote on that under new business, so.
If anybody wants to see any of the applications, I have them
Mr. Guthrie.
Extras. Anybody wants to see them?
I do know she's here. Okay, thank you. Hi Debbie, how are you? Bylaws committee, anything? Laura? No. A central aid, central library aid?
No report.
What was that?
No report.
Okay. County aid coordinators. Jordan?
Is that me again?
Well, you're the only one. that- Yeah.
It is, well. there's
Anything to say
nothing
about
to
that?
report
It's
about.
4 of us.
Okay, Heather, I don't imagine you have anything reports of Saratoga County. Sue, anything from
No.
Warren and Washington never does because they never give us any money, so. Oh, well, library services, is there anything to report? Personnel,
Well, we had two meetings. I think they were both in August. We had one meeting, an exit interview with Sarah. I can't remember who took minutes of that because if people.
Janet did.
Oh, I assume if people would like to see the results of that, those minutes could be made available.
I thought I sent them out.
Oh, you did.
Did you send them to just ask her to everyone on the,
Probably just to you, right?
right?
So
Well,
we can distribute.
if anybody would like to see them, we can forward them. It was a good interview. I think it was informative. And then we had a meeting with Kim, and that one was, the meeting with Sarah was here, the meeting with Kim was virtual. And we discussed the goals, the initial goals for Kim, and I think that went well.
I thought so.
There were no surprises, I think, for either, right? So. And the goals, I think, were also something we discussed at an early in June,
Yes.
I seem to remember. So,
So,
Yeah.
yeah. Any questions about that? Trustee nominating?
So, we've had an ongoing issue with Hamilton County trustees finding any. And Pat, it turns out that Pat Partello, who had been, I'm gonna need a new sign.
Yeah.
Has a home in Hamilton County, so we're going to switch Pat to Hamilton.
Mhm.
And that means that we still need one more board member from Warren County. So if anybody has any ideas, they'd be most welcome. I don't have any.
I'm gonna hit the libraries this week and see.
Okay, yeah, get somebody, grab somebody.
The only two people I know from Warren County are in this room. So. No help, no props.
and a large percentage of the population of Hamilton County is
It's
also.
all.
Yeah, right, it's true.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Okay, so here's unfinished business, the 2026 Annual Board of Trustees meeting, in person or virtual and location to be determined. I was just bringing Kim up to speed about our May banquets, that they're lovely, but that they're expensive. This last year, there was a difference of $55 a plate between what we charged and about what we were charged. So, the question is, do we try to find another restaurant and do this again, or do we do it virtually? Or do we think of something else? Does anyone have an opinion?
I think it is a morale booster to meet together. I worry about the virtual and the actual attendance. I think it was very small when we did it during COVID,
When we
wasn't it?
zoomed during COVID, it was, yeah, there were like 20 of us on the screen, yeah.
So somehow, especially at the moment when I think morale could be easily injured, there should be, hopefully there's a way to continue.
So,
What was the cost of it last year?
Total cost.
Oh, I'm really bad at the numbers off the top of my head.
I think Sarah said it was about $10,000.
I wanna say 18.
18.
Okay.
What if it wasn't dinner?
Yeah, I was gonna say, what if it were breakfast or brunch or some other?
So I was wondering, this is my off the wall suggestion. Crandall Library has a very nice auditorium downstairs. Could we do something like a reception, coffee, cake? late
No
afternoon?
alcohol.
What? No
No
alcohol. I
alcohol.
didn't say alcohol. I said coffee.
I'm just saying Henry Crandall, and Henry Crandall's will, there's no alcohol
Alcohol.
on Prairie.
I don't know, or we could hold it in a different venue, but I'm wondering if we need to, I know. People loved this last year's dinner. People are still talking about
Yeah.
last year's,
Oh, yes.
this year's dinner. But I don't think we can afford it, so. I
A
don't-
different time of day would help. You know. Crandall is doing their gala at the Queensberry. And they're serving a breakfast. They're having like instead of having like dinner, sit down dinner, they're instead having like breakfast food at night. You
At
know,
night.
breakfast any time of day. And it seems to be more manageable in terms of the price. But once you do the sit down, it becomes more expensive.
If we do drinks and hors d'oeuvres or something like that.
Just a different format sometime.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll reach out to the Queensberry and back to Saratoga National and see what kind of ideas they can come up with for us. And see, maybe look at the two venues. I know, parking is important to,
Right,
Queensbury has good
Yeah,
parking.
they have good
They
parking.
just,
yeah,
We did.
they just purchased
Yep.
more parking in the area because this TD Bank was.
Would it be good to have a
Or-
number to ask? That we have a number that we'd like to spend the
Yeah.
budget.
Yeah.
And ask them what they could do for them.
Queensbury has built a new ballroom too,
Mhm.
which years ago, we used to go to the Queensbury, but we had to be split up because there wasn't a room that was big enough to hold
Well,
us.
it's plenty big.
But now there's plenty with the new ballroom.
the other thing too is we usually alternate between Saratoga and the North Country.
Mhm.
So Queensberry is a little closer to the,
Mm.
our North Country libraries. So.
Sounds like a good research project for Lisa, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not gonna disagree with you.
Can we charge members more? Is that an idea?
You can,
I mean,
it used to be 25, we raised it to 30 after COVID.
right, so.
it's, you know, if you raise it, then you get fewer people, so, but.
A breakfast is likely to cost less though.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah,
so
right.
that, I mean, maybe it's also something we can consider alternating between a breakfast one year, then if the cost is considerably lower for the breakfast.
Or see how many people come to the
And
breakfast.
support the- Right, well, that's good.
I think a meal is better than just having like hors d'oeuvres, because if you have people
Yeah.
coming from a distance, I think they're gonna want a meal.
Right, and not too early because they have to come from a distance.
But I mean, we have been having it on a
Brunch,
Monday
brunch or
evening,
lunch.
so if we do it during the day, we're gonna have to do it on a weekend, I would imagine, because, well, even library directors can't get away from their libraries during the day,
Right,
so. We would have to do it on a Saturday,
Well, and some libraries are open on Saturday.
or that's true, or Sunday,
So currently, the bylaws state that it's the third Monday of May,
right?
just
That's-
mentioned, it's in the bylaws.
But you can still have it on Monday night, and so the idea with Crandall was that, it's on a Saturday night, but they're serving breakfast food. Just to lower the cost, you know, and they're making a theme out of it.
Have you done this
Yeah,
one
when is it?
already, or?
No. It's.
So you don't know how it's going to go over?
Well,
we're honoring somebody. It's the Henry and Betsy Crandall Award, so there's somebody in the community that we are honoring. Tom Murphy, who was the president of Glens Falls National Bank, and his wife. So that brings people out. So anyway, it was just a different menu on a Saturday night as opposed to, you know, a sit-down dinner, which would probably cost twice as much.
Do we need a motion for this? Do we just ask Pamela and Lisa to do it?
Yeah, we'll vote on it next time.
Okay, thank you. That's the way to go. Okay. All right, new business. Approved Kim Boland to attend NILA, November 5th through 8th. And NIAL's 2025 advocacy launch Monday, September 29th, and that's New York Association of Library Systems. Do I have that correct? You want to talk
All the
about that?
acronyms,
I
I'm
think
still
I know.
learning. I know I was just invited to it
Okay,
and it's virtual option, but I thought going in person would make more sense at this point. So,
and where is it located?
that's a great question. Without my things in my head, I could tell you if you give me a second.
I'm just being curious.
It is, oh, I had asked.
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
it's in, Niset. And Schenectady Road in Latham.
Oh, okay, it's nice, New York State.
United Teachers.
United Teachers off, right.
According to what I have in my calendar.
Darn, you don't get to go any place excited. Okay, any questions about that? Would someone like to make a motion that we send Kim?
I'll make a motion.
Tom Shaganall makes the motion and, Heather Crocker. See, I will get names, makes the second, and all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Approved revision to SALS employee handbook, change in accrued vacation hours. Who wants to talk about this? Pamela. Someone's pointing to you, Pamela.
So currently, our staff accrues 11.67 hours of vacation at the end of every month. The request was that that be amended to an even 12 hours of accrued vacation at the end of each month. So it goes from 140 to 144 hours of vacation a year.
And we did discuss this at, did we discuss that in
Personnel
meeting?
meeting.
Yes, we did. So is there any further discussion, any questions about it? Okay, would someone like to make a motion that we change the employee handbook? Janet, second? Pat? All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you. Bob, do you want to quickly talk about the auditor situation?
Last year, before we knew that Sarah was going to retire and Colleen was going to move on, and we had talked about putting out for a request, either for proposal or a request for an actual firm contract for a new auditor. Given all the changes, I think it would make sense to stick with who we currently have, UHY, for at least one more year, so that we don't end up having to retrain or newly train an auditor plus everybody else. So I would just suggest, it's a board decision, but I would suggest that we not change at this point, if everybody agrees.
Any questions about that? Okay, then we don't need to vote on that. On to D. So we're back to you, Sue. Approve state aid for library construction applications.
So according to all our recommendations before, do we, agree? Do I have to repeat the numbers again? Just,
I
think
think
we have to-
only, if I can get one.
Go
go ahead.
I think we usually do it one library at a time so that any trustees that are board
good
members on
idea.
those trustees
Okay.
have stay in front of them.
All right.
Okay. So Boston Spas first, approve 73% of the request, $467,200.
Is there a motion to approve Boston Spa? Jordan, Margaret second. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, on to the next one.
Clifton Park Half Moon Library rooftop unit replacement, we approved $471,524.
Is there a motion to accept? Heather, second. Laura, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, next one.
Crandall Public Library, granting them $84,450 for their new entry door.
Motion to accept Crandall Public Library. Janet. I'll get there. Second. Pat. All in favor?
Abstain.
I know. And any opposed? And Margaret's abstaining. Next one.
Town of Lake Pleasant, $23,066 for their digital library sign.
Someone make a motion to approve. Margaret, second. Heather, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, next one.
Rockwell Falls, for their ADA compliant circulation desk, $15,335.
Is there a motion to approve Rockwell Falls? Jordan? Second, you're getting tired, guys. You're not getting your hands up. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
Mechanicville, for their library remodel project, $161,389.
Is there a motion to accept this proposal? Pat and Laura second, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you.
And SALS, last but not least,
Can we vote on SALS?
can we vote? And abstain, right? 50%, we're giving them giving us $26,726 for the new climate control system in the server room.
Is there a motion to accept this proposal? Margaret, Heather, all in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
Wait, I'm sorry, who seconded Luzerne?
we're just testing me. Luzerne was, Sue. All right, on to E. Approve amended 2025 budget.
Yeah, so there's been a small number of updates to the 2025 budget. We've been discussing these. Specifically, the income came in from the state was some 3 or 4% higher than we had planned in the original budget, so that income needs to be adjusted. Between the money that comes to us and the money that passes through us, that was some $41,600 more money than was in the budget, so we should amend the budget to accept that. And then our expenses have gone up as well, much of that specifically because of the money we're passing through. So as the money is dedicated to being passed through, as it comes in higher, it also has to be passed out higher. We also now have a better handle on what 2025 looks like as we have completed our director change. So the salaries, benefits, and retirees benefits information is more accurate. So that's the update that's being made there. And then because both the income and the expenses moved some, but at different amounts, we need to modify the fund reserve take in order to keep the balance, the budget balanced. And so the net push, the budget expenses went up 15.6, the income went up 41.6, and the fund balance, the general reserve balance is being modified to balance that.
So the fund balance actually went up.
The fund balance, the amount of money we take from the fund balance goes down.
Okay,
Yeah, it's up,
right.
yeah,
Okay.
right.
All right. Any questions about that?
My last correction to you, Tom, was
No.
about the expenses.
Yeah.
The expense line, which after the correction to the April amended budget, it means that the expenses, then the total increase is only about 10,000.
About 10,000 as opposed to 15.
Yes.
All right, then you have the commensurate change in the reserve.
Correct.
So the story's the same, whether the figures are modified, which is what we were discussing in our email flurry yesterday. But
Any discussion? Can I have a motion to accept the amendments to the 2025 budget? Can you?
I don't know if I can move or not, if I can't. I've rolled all around them.
Supposed to move.
Okay, good. Then that's- yeah.
Nation, I believe that is the movement. and then
Yes.
somebody has
So we
seconded.
don't need a second, all right?
You do need a second.
We do need.
We do.
You don't.
You don't?
If the committee,
I thought we
Endorses
need
it.
motion.
if the committee endorses the, motion, then you don't need a second, because it's.
So
going to the
I'm
committee.
not the
But
committee.
you didn't have a committee,
I am but an individual among the committee.
so in this case, you would.
Get a second.
Because it's not the committee.
Thank you.
So we're gonna do it then not.
Okay, well, I'm saying that Tom is making the motion, and now I need a second, which
There you
is
go.
Sue. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Thank you, okay. All right, F. Review SALS 2026 proposed budget to be voted on at the October 21st meeting. We did
I
that.
think we just did that earlier.
We did that.
Batting out of order. but that's
Okay, and we already forwarded to the member libraries.
Yep.
Okay, JA budget, who's going to discuss the JA
That's
budget?
gotta be me. So the JA draft budget has, JA team met, a lot of discussion on what the year looks like. The modifications to the approach taken to the JA budget is very like the approach we took with our budget. State, sources of funds are unknown, that's the thing. The expenses are going up for the benefits and the utilities, unsurprisingly. After our learning experience in hiring a new director and recognizing that Michelle is gonna be retiring in March, Eric padded the budget a little bit. The draft budget from the JA team has a little bit additional money in the effort to find the right person to replace Michelle. So they're gonna spend more time with their lawyer, they're gonna spend more time with HR. These are all lessons we learned, and we want to make sure that the JA team knew them as well. So the budget that comes is affected greatly in retirement benefits, because Michelle has taken benefits in retirement that she did not take as an employee. So it's the most substantial step change in there, but everything else is a rational flow. So the process is that the JA team drafts a budget and sends it to the two systems for their consideration. It gets adopted and moves into the JA for final, proposal. So I see the thing, I recognize it, I don't know if anybody else wants to or has had a look at it, but I'm advocating for its advancement.
And it was in the packet that we got, so people should have had a chance to look at it. Are there any questions about it? Okay, so I need a motion to approve the JA. Are you making the motion
I'll
to
make the
approve the
motion,
JA
absolutely,
budget?
yeah.
Tom is making that motion. Is there someone to second? Heather seconding. All in favor? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, we are through the official agenda. With announcements at the bottom. Are there announcements?
I don't know if it's an announcement, but I guess I'd like to bring up to everybody that in the JA meeting, there was considerable discussion over the fact that the JA agreement is being revisited by a team within the JA. And so I've gotten a look at that draft and made some comments to it. I don't know, we don't necessarily have a toe in that group that's doing the writing, but we want to make sure that we take the experiences from SCPL's departure, as well as what we hear from our various libraries as far as what they feel about the agreement, and make sure that that gets baked in there. So I'm repping to the JA board, if you see anything, or if your teams are telling you anything that we need to know, please bring it forward.
And it's going from 6-page agreement to a 21-page agreement, so there's a lot in it. Tom came up with a dozen and a half of comments about it, which for such a long document does not seem extreme at all. So we'll see, but it's much more, detailed than it was, so. Yeah, anything else? Anything else? No comments? So I need a motion to adjourn? No. Then I guess we're adjourned. There is